What's up, nerds? My name is Steve from Flipping the Nerd, and this is the My Life in Movie Tag video. So I'm going to do two of these. I'm going to do one of them for regular movies and one of them for horror movies. They're going to be in two separate videos, so I'm not going to do any horror ones for this one, and I'm going to do a full horror one like in 2-3 days. I'm going to film it today, but it's going to be released 2-3 days after this one. I wasn't tagged by anybody. The Life of a Lonely Man, but I did watch Horror Gal's version of this, and she tagged the whole world, so I'm putting myself in that bucket because I figure, why not? It'll be fun to do. She did a horror one only. I'm going to do both because I'm a huge fan of really both sides of the spectrum, but I did want to dedicate one fully to horror as well. This is not the one. This will be the regular movie one, so let's go through it and see what happens. There are 14 questions. Number 1, first steps. The first, sorry, I have to take out the horror part of it. The first movie you remember seeing. For me, that would be probably Follow That Bird. Follow That Bird is the Sesame Street movie, and it's something I watched multiple times as a kid. And my parents had to rent it over and over and over again from the video store because people didn't really buy movies back then. That wasn't really a thing. So, but my parents, as they've told me in the future, like later on, they're like, they should have just cut a deal with the person at the video store and bought it. But anyway, that's that. So that would definitely probably be it. Follow That Bird is probably the first movie I remember watching, and I watch it often. I even got to see it in theaters like 5-6 years ago. The theater where I used to live, every Sunday morning they play a classic kids film, and every Sunday night they play a classic like adult film, not adult as in porn, but adult as in like something that isn't for kids. One of those mornings they're playing this movie, Follow That Bird, so I brought my mom and my sister as like a memory thing, and it was awesome, and I have it on DVD. So great movie. I still love it to this day. It brings back so many memories, and that would probably be the first film I remember seeing. Number 2, teenage crush. Which actor or actress did I have a crush on? I don't think I was a teenager yet. The first crush I remember having on an actress is Lori Loughlin from Full House. She was Aunt Becky. Right? Yeah, it was. Was it Becky? Yes, I think so. It's been a while since I watched Full House, but yeah, so definitely Lori Loughlin, and a good choice, it turns out, because still to this day she is smoking, and she's like 50, 55 at this point, and she is still looking amazing. So I had taste back then, apparently, and I still do. But yeah, Lori Loughlin would be my first crush. You know, I wasn't a teenager technically yet, but that would be that one. Bad choices, good outcome. A movie you've watched and ended up liking. So the way I interpreted that is a movie I thought would suck, but ended up being pretty good. One that I watched pretty recently, I think it was last year, was Vacation. So Vacation, I thought was a remake of the original Summer Vacation with Chevy Chase, which it kind of is, but it's more like a sequel because it like continues the lore. It's Rusty, the kid, that brings his family on vacation, and they do have a cameo from Chevy Chase and Beverly D'Angelo there for in the movie. So it's a sequel, and I really thought this would be bad. I thought it would be just a terrible rehash of a classic, but I ended up laughing the whole time. So it was a great movie. I highly recommend it if you're really feeling like you don't want to watch something too serious and just want to laugh. It's a good one. First date. What movie did you see on the first date? Well, interestingly enough, all my first dates are always horror movies. It was a strategy, and it worked often. But there was one exception to that, because she really hated horror movies, which is probably why it didn't last very long. But we went to see Cinderella Man. I remember that vividly. Now, do I remember the movie? Not even a slightest bit. We were making out the whole time. So, yeah, Cinderella Man. That's the only other non-horror movie I can think of, but like I said, I didn't really watch it, so couldn't tell you much about it. Number 5, home comforts. What movie reminds you of time with family? I decided to go with my sister on this one because, you know, it's different with each family member. But my sister watched basically 3 movies in rotation, just one after the other. Just boom, 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 starts over, and did that for ever. And those 3 movies were Class Act with Kid and Play, While You Were Sleeping with Sandra Bullock and Bill Pullman, and The Cutting Edge, the one where the guy is a hockey player and has to become a figure skater. And she watched those 3 movies in rotation for like a decade. So definitely think of my sister when I think of those 3 movies. Class Act, While You Were Sleeping, and Cutting Edge. First, Heartbreak. What movie upset you or hit you the most than you thought? Easy. The Green Mile. Oh. Closest I ever came to crying at a movie. Yeah, it is a heartbreaking movie. There are 2 scenes in it that they almost got me. I mean, it's just the last scene with John. Oh my god, no. I love, and it's such a great movie too. It's in my probably top 5, maybe top 10 movies of all time. But damn, it's a hard watch because that ending is just so heartbreaking. Number 7, Leaving Home. What movie was the first you watched without your family? That was weird. I didn't really know how to answer this. So it's not necessarily the first I watched when I moved out, but it's one that I remember the most from when I moved out the first time. Not the first time. When I moved out, I stayed out. But the first place I moved to, I had 2 roommates, Rich and Pat, and it seemed that anytime we'd go on TV, Good Will Hunting was playing. Anytime. It was always Good Will Hunting on TV. And it became a running joke, like, want to watch TV? Sure. How's Good Will Hunting sound? Because it was always, always, always Good Will Hunting. So that's my memory of my first apartment, was how often Good Will Hunting was on TV. So that'll be that movie. Number 8, Good Times. What movie do you watch the most and why? There are 3 movies that I watch a lot. And I'm talking about a lot. You know, it's so much so that there was a time I could quote them for a good part of it and know line by line the movies. That was Fifth Element, Demolition Man, and True Lies. They're just easy movie to watch. I just love watching them, and I used to watch them all the time. I'd put them in the background a lot, like before going to sleep. It's just something that I didn't have to watch because I knew the movie so well that I could kind of, turn around, not watch it, and know exactly what's happening. So, yeah, I watched the hell out of those 3 movies. Learn a new language. What is your favorite non-English horror? Not horror. Can't do horror yet. What is your favorite non-English movie? I would say Run Lola Run. It is a great film. You need to watch it if you haven't. It's a German film. I personally like to keep it in German and put subtitles, but it's up to you. It's just a very interesting butterfly effect-y type of film. It was way ahead of its time. I saw it in college, so it's been a while. And yeah, absolutely amazing film. So that was the language one. Number 10, Can't Leave the Sofa. What series on TV got you hooked? Apparently there's a TV question in here. So I put TV into 3 categories: 1-hour shows, half-hour shows, and reality. So my favorite one of each category, excluding what I would consider horror, because my favorite 1-hour show is a horror show, would be Sons of Anarchy. Is probably my favorite hour show outside of horror. The Office is my favorite half-hour show outside of horror, and Survivor is my favorite reality show. So there you go. Sick day. If you don't feel well, what movie cheers you up? For me, it's not one movie per se, it's series. I like to watch, because I'm sick, I'm going to stay in bed all day, so instead of having just one movie and skip from different storylines, I like one clean slate storyline. And these are movies I'll watch the series every single year. Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter, Star Wars, Indiana Jones, and Back to the Future. Those 5 series I will watch every single year, and usually when I'm sick. I'm actually watching Harry Potter right now because I'm going to the Wizarding World of Harry Potter in like a month and a half. So, love those series, and they're great for when I'm sick and stuff. Number 12, looking to the future. What movies are you looking forward to seeing? The 3 movies that are on my radar right now that are not horror. Number 1, Thor Ragnarok, which comes out in November. Number 2, Star Wars Episode 8, The Last Jedi. Of course, I love Star Wars. And number 3, and this is the movie I've been looking forward to forever. It's the movie I think it's the movie I'm the most excited for ever. Like, ever. So, that's saying something. And that's Infinity War. It's the culmination of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I mean, of course, I want to see how this thing ends. I don't think it's going to end, but it's like really the final chapter of the current version of the MCU, and I just can't wait to see what it looks like. Number 13, If Only. What old movie do you want to see remade? Super easy. Stay Tuned. Remember that movie? It starred John Ritter. So it's basically a couch potato who just doesn't want to get away from the couch and watches TV his whole day. It's ruining his marriage, it's ruining his job, it's ruining his life. And the devil comes and basically he sells his soul to get a bigger dish so he can get more channels, and he gets sucked into the TV, and he goes from TV show to TV show trying to get out of this loop. And I think it would be awesome to remake it and do it with more current TV shows. You can have cameos. It was I think it's an awesome film, but it definitely could be remade and still be good. So that would be it. And finally, end of the road. What 3 films do you think you always enjoy watching? So outside of the ones I talked about, of course, if you look behind me, I have a lot of movies, and they're categorized in a very specific way. I have animated films, Christmas films, comic book films, horror, and then regular. So, and I have very specifically, so I picked from the first 3 subcategories: animation, comic book, and Christmas. My favorite films in those 3 are The Avengers, Aladdin, and Christmas Vacation. So those are 3 movies I'll enjoy watching for the rest of my life. So that's it. I'm not going to tag anyone either. I think this tag was literally like 2-3 months ago. No one cares about this tag anymore. But I want to make content for my channel, so hope you like it. If you didn't do this and would like to do it, I would love for you to do it. Please let me know too. I'd love to watch it, get your answers, and don't forget to check out my horror one, which is going to come out in like 2-3 days. So thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you all